It's setting all my doubts on fire.
Oh, hello there, folks. It's time for a little bit of Counter-Strike Global Offensive between Geniuses and Vendetta. Just around going live on Inferno, so we get to decide it between these two teams. See who's gonna take the W in the match with ATK for a spot in ESL Challenger Melbourne. Who do you think's positioned best here on Inferno, John?
Well, I think that Vendetta might be positioned better here, Mike. To get the win.
Interesting
perhaps.
concept. Let's see, Jeorge. Gonna take first contact. Very handily here. Walko set up beautifully for the swing. That one's quick as can be.
Very nice by the evil geniuses. I don't even know what kind of voice I'm going for at this point. 1-0.
I don't know either.
In favor of EG. And by the way, I just completely made up everything I just said. It was not relevant at all to what I'm actually thinking for this match and this map. I think EG will have the edge here on Inferno. They have been a little bit back and forth.
John's predicting
in terms,
both sides.
Yeah, like you can't lose if you predict
Fence
both
sitting.
sides, right? Because
Fence sitting. But you also can't win, John. What a hollow existence to lead. We were just discussing how the player models are hollow. Filled with the void.
Not in CS2.
No? Do they have meat in there? They have flesh in there?
They're volumetric, just like the smokes.
What, volumetric, just like the smoke?
Yeah, they got
Interesting.
volume, Mike. They got organs.
Are there organs? Are there squishy
don't.
bits inside? Can you go through the digestive tract of your player model?
Potentially now, yeah.
Agent K, it's just all latex?
Counter-Strike 2's changed the game, man, in more ways than one.
There you go. Gonna teach anatomy classes in Source, too. Clean round, not a bullet taken back the other way for EG. That's a heck of a way to get an Inferno decider started. Look, it was touch and go on Overpass, and they're gonna be frustrated about how Mirage ended. But if EG win here, it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, no one's gonna look back and see how the series went, really. They're just gonna be happy that they took the dub.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Inferno stats for EG, the only reason they're kind of iffy is because they've had some trouble on this map against ATK, right? Losing twice over the last two BO3s they play against. I'm like, this is, yeah. Oh, Inferno and Mirage have been the problem spots for EG up against that ATK squad. But overall, 7-4, plus 39 round differential. It is their best round differential of any map in their pool over the last 3 months. And Jeorge, well, he's going to go down. The 60 spam through that smoke. It is a bonus round here for EG with a couple of MP9s. Do you have those A1Ss in Hex position is very powerful here on the balcony. Junior supporting as well. They're not going to clear for him at all, and he's going to get one. Finally, they turn around. That's Silas, but it might be too late. Junior gets the immediate trade. They have to isolate Junior, and they can't. Smoke thrown. Chop trying to go around it, and he does. Nice recovery there for Vendetta, and it should lead to a bomb plant, but Walko and Resh are hot on their heels.
Interesting retake as well. They got a molly for the pit. Ooh, speaking of mollies, a timely one comes in right as they're thinking about making the move. So that'll shift them in towards the apps instead, which actually works out decently for Rush. Considering the SMG, you'd like to condense these angles as much as possible before taking the fight. Wait for the smoke fade. Wait for the smoke fade, and now things are going to get very interesting indeed. Molotov, out. Nade, potentially with it. Chop just has to reposition. There's no more smokes available. That does get him away from the nade. And they know they've got Rush stuck. So Chop, even though he's the low HP player, he's just here to keep Rush out of the choke point. And Walko's not even going for this? All right, Rush will fight and die as he tries to keep the economy limited. But Walko was 1 foot out of that round the entire time.
Oh, man, how many times have we seen that throughout this close qualifier? Not just EG, but other teams as well, with being disjointed in their attempted retakes or takes. In that situation, you know, you have your teammates going for something. In the meantime, you're not even close. It's just strange. But yeah, EG going to lose that round. Vendetta pick up a first. Sure, it's extremely costly, and it will lead to a very, very interesting buy-up with 4 Galils and a MAC-10. And The Evil Geniuses will have 3 A1Ss and an A4 along with an MP9, so they have the better buy-up in terms of guns. The nade connects for a little bit of damage onto 6C along with consti. They're not going to be too worse for the wear, though, as they continue to huddle around the bottom of Banana. The other 2 players lurking around mid. Tender left behind on said lurk with the MAC-10. He's hoping to catch rotations off because I think Vendetta want to commit to the B site. Although, I say that, but the bomb is dropped at the bottom of ramp.
Nice find early. HE damage punishing here. Junior catching another kill elsewhere means that this is very disjointed for Vendetta. 6C barely a wisp left alive. He may not be left alive for very long. Jeorge has dispelled him. All just on the consti. This is a complete non-starter of a round. My goodness, what a way to assert yourself back in here for the Evil Geniuses. Not even allowing Vendetta to shoot back.
Fantastic recovery for EG after that very interesting end to the previous round. They got their ducks in a row, and Rush gets the last one onto consti. 3-1 in favor of EG, and the economy for Vendetta, oof, yeah, it's not good again, so they're likely just going to be on Glocks, maybe a P50, but I'd be surprised if they invest at all into this round. Okay, 3 P250. Can't speak. 3 P250s. There we go. Purchased up by Vendetta.
P750. What we got showing here? I'm not expecting bold things, but Silas wants to go a glocking. Oh, a glocking he will go. A glocking he will go. Hi-ho, the merry-o. Those nades have just killed Chop.
Jeorge. Gonna get 1-2 and then goes down to the P250, but it's not gonna matter too much. Tender could do some damage. Nope, nothing. Next. Quickly reacts and then gets the follow-up on consti as well. Round is over.
It's honestly a blessing for Jeorge that he dies there because he had a Galil.
Yeah.
And he does not want a Galil. He wants an A4. And he'll get one, John, because they're cash flow rich. They got money to burn. Cash money for days. All about that green they are. They've been stacking it in the last few rounds. So for Vendetta, here's where you gotta start to crack through. We've had one brilliant round, but otherwise, blank in so many of these. I mean, you can see 4 players on EG have only died once. That tells the tale through 5 rounds. Jeorge has died twice. Huh, what a sucker.
Terrible. But he's got more kills than everyone else, so that makes up for it.
That's a mortar shot nade. Love that. A lot of times you see teams play a Molotov there just to deny the bedroom peek. But a nade also works for a little bit of damage. They're getting rebuffed again by this util. They don't want to burn nades of their own, so they're allowing a lot of initiative taken here. Jeorge wants to force the Molotov 1-for-1. Maybe not ideal. It was definitely a dynamic play, and I don't mind it. Walko's stuck. Dodges the flashbang. They're not behind it. Spacing's a little awkward on that util, and then they crouch peek the angle. Thinking that might have forced him back, but it's done nothing but the sort, allowing the fights over to Walko, and he'll finally go down. It's been more than enough time for his teammates to rotate in. Junior on the angle. Rush with a crossfire. It's a really good setup for EG for this hold. Spam going to be there. That's a distraction. And Junior.
What a shot.
Wow. Cleared out by Tender. Bomb down. This likely can't be denied. And Rush, well, he'll try. Nearly loses his life in the effort. This was looking so in control for EG, and now it's anything but, John.
Yeah. EG. Still a chance to get back into this site. They've got the kits and a little bit of util, but Rush is on life support at 2 HP. He's going to try and come in here. Hex right behind him. Both players tucked into one angle for Vendetta, but time is so low here. EG have to be absolutely picture perfect. They're not going to clear the corner, and consti gets both of them. Nothing doing for EG, and Vendetta are back on the board with a second round.
Well, now.
Well,
This is
now.
where that cash flow
Indeed.
matters. EG stacking the green. They're going to need to dip into it and drain the reserves. A lot of util, though. Look at this, John. This is a good buy. Yes, Jeorge has an MP9, but it should be A-okay. Provided make good on this, they'll be fine to keep on rolling.
Be careful they don't face with Junior too much towards mid, but you know, Junior decides to fall off that fight anyway. He's going to go back to the site. Perfect flashbangs thrown from both sides, and in fact, everyone was blinded up. And in the end, 60 goes down to the Molotov thrown by Jeorge. That's how blinded everyone was. Didn't even realize where they were standing or what was beneath them. Silas spamming the smoke here. Everyone has vacated Banana at this point. They want nothing of this util battle. And we talked about it before. This is going to be one of the more interesting parts of any map with the new smokes in Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah. Ready to get weird. Ready to get volumetric, John.
Oh, also, I want to see nuke vents. See what a smoke looks like in there. Because obviously the smokes fill the spaces now, as you saw in that video, right?
That's a good point. Straight up the pipe it might go.
Yeah, exactly.
To get real weird, speaking of which, Walko finds 3.
Eee.
2 to the ground, 1 just spotted, but Molotov might force him into a fight, and he will be dropped, but he's done plenty for his team, and meanwhile, they know where the last 2 are, so look at this push down Banana, look at this flank now developing, look at this kill on the chop. Tender, it's disaster. How do you even get out of this? He'll try and isolate fights, but it's with the AWP, and that's going to be a 5th for the geniuses.
Yes. Vendetta cannot get on a roll here. Keep getting isolated round victories, and EG comes back, and they're not just winning the following rounds, they're winning them cleanly with multiple bodies standing. That time it's 4 players up and running going into this round. They have to reinvest into util, but that helps the economic foundation build up a little bit. Another clean round here, which is possible, given that Vendetta don't have enough money to really buy up. Could lead to more problems for Vendetta, and of course, better economy for EG. Junior opening shot fired, and frag found. Silas drops in a heap. Next, waiting for the right opportunity to throw that incendiary, and decides to hold on to it for the time being, falling off balcony and apartments, letting Vendetta come to him. Definitely the right choice for EG given the limited buy-up for Vendetta, knowing that their economy isn't that strong. Junior throws the incendiary. That will hold off any reinforcements for 60, and he goes down as you would expect. Rush takes down Chop as well, and this should be pretty much done.
It will be indeed. I thought that was Junior getting the fadeaway USP shot. It was Rush. But it's all good. Everybody survives. 5 players that continue to build this eco. So the bank reserve is rebuilt. Strategic investment, a little stimulus package with that 1 round win keeps them afloat, and now they are just rolling. All good. If you're an EG fan. Vendetta, though, struggling to crack the board consistently, right? Kind of requiring misplays or missed opportunities for EG to even allow them into rounds, and even then, it's very risky. And considering, look, the thing about the T side on Inferno is it can be very powerful if you can control things with utility. That is not necessarily something that plays to Vendetta's strong suit. Their strong suit is taking fights.
Yes.
And keeping it up tempo, and as soon as the CTs have all of these nades, it's a very tough style of CS to play.
And I mean, 60 has been trying to fill that utility role, right? The support role on this Vendetta squad, but you're right. I mean, they just need to take fights and try to win them, but you can't do that when Junior's locking you down with that AWP 60. Just trying to make a quick play, can't get anything done, and the rest of his team has to back off as a result. Still no bomb picked up here by Vendetta. It's at the bottom of ramp, and there's a very lethal crossfire over at bracket. Hex gets 1. Tender and Consti are looking for an opening, but it's not going to be easy to find unless they try to use their util a little bit, but they keep going for the dry fights, and they keep losing them.
But if they swing this next time, John,
Maybe
they'll break the crossfire.
Ooh. Or they're just going to die again.
They do have 2 smokes. I mean, if they still wanted this top brackets fight, you could have sectioned off one of the sides of this multiple times over. But they opted to hold on to them. It will allow them a bit of an execute on towards B if they're going to go for it, but this is looking like a save. 30 seconds on the posturing. They're hoping for some sort of fight to give them a path in. But in a 2v5, they don't seem to like their prospects, and there's really no reason for EG to give them a face. So we're going to wait 20 seconds, and then get into the next round. And as the timer ticks low, I actually would imagine EG give it a look to see if they can't hunt, because they got cash in reserve. And punish these T-side players. No, they're not going to do it. All right, conservative play.
No reason.
Keep their own eco healthy.
Exactly. No reason. Their economy's built up really nicely. They have 5 players standing. Keep it rolling. Keep it moving on. 7-2 in favor of the Evil Geniuses. Another very commanding lead to open up the map. This has happened on the previous 2 as well. And this is when Vendetta has activated every single time. They got the op. They have the Galil as well, but the rest are on either SMGs or pistols. And EG finally work this very strong lead into a stranglehold on the map in the series. Will Vendetta find their way back into it? That's a good start. Consti gets the headshot onto Rush. 5v4. Hex throwing the smoke here into the apartments to try and slow up the advance for Vendetta, but Tender's having none of it. He's going to push up right next to said smoke, and as soon as it fades, could try to go for this fight and face off with Hex with all those reinforcements as well from Vendetta, either pushing up from mid or boiler. And actually 2 of them are going to join him. Thinks Hex spotted them out here.
Seems to be the case. Nice shot for Junior. Reinforcements here. Junior the only loss there on that first face, but 60 still asking some questions. Now the pinch onto Hex. This could work out. They need to find the timing. They need to find the coordination. I think they know he's here, and he's trying to chase, so it leaves him exposed, but they can't quite capitalize still. Now he's on his lonesome. 40 seconds they can play this out. Whatever pace they wish. Consti drop. Love the initiative taken from Hex, but he's got to dodge the flames. He's got to dodge the bullets, and that one will lean the way of Vendetta.
You see, that's the type of round that EG needs to be winning to put those strangleholds on the match, and they're not. I mean, Hex just needed to hit 1 bullet onto 60, and for whatever reason, it eluded him, even though he's been so good up to this point.
Yeah, I will say he almost pulls off the 1v2, right? It was a very nice bit of play. It was decently brought back by Vendetta as well. So
it was a limited buy, though.
I think that was explosive, but yeah, you're right. Better if you can win those, but a chance for Vendetta to now make good into the game, into the half.
Yeah. Excellent. Thinking about going for the wall bang. Not gonna do it just yet. Silas sneaks his way into window. Smoke gonna land right at his feet. He's gonna stay in it for the time being. Is there a flash for him to come out here or help him come out here? He has one for himself, but he needs his teammates to throw it. There we go. Well done. Junior does get the opener though before he fades off onto the site proper, and then Walco finds Consti. It's all starting to fall apart here at the seams for Vendetta.
Once again, vaporizing. Base game for Tender, but he's making a lot of noise in doing so. There's no longer the punch behind it to set up that Mac 10 for success. 1 kill, not nearly enough to make this round much of an impression, and as EG have done so well so far this half, the round isolated out for Vendetta. So nothing building there, another partial buy or eco coming through for Vendetta, and this half has just gotten out of control. 8 rounds on the board, almost certainly a 9th to follow it. This is starting to look like we might get a rematch between EG and ATK.
Yeah, I mean, look, EG faltering a little bit, but as opposed to the previous map where they start to lose a few in a row at that point, they isolate another Vendetta round victory. Not a single 2-round win streak for Vendetta so far in this half. Jeorge getting a little bit antsy, perhaps. He does get the opener. Takes a lot of damage in the engagement, so he has to fall off here with only 10 HP left to his name. Welcome. Incendiary in hand, tosses that forward, and it will at least push Vendetta back for a few more moments, giving Junior a chance to take down Tender, who tried to get in from mid.
Only thing you got going for you right now is damage onto Jeorge, and no utility. They'll try and funnel it in towards B. It's as good as guess as any. as they do usually like to play 2 here. And I guess if you hit this ripper of shot and Walker, you got a chance. But the shot's not hit. He doesn't leave himself exposed, so smoke down. Stall out on that. Like, nothing to go through it with, so they know going through would just be suicidal, frankly. Now's the moment. There's a reposition coming through from Walco. I can't know that. As they make the play towards site. New box and coffins is the defense, and Walco in for the first. And they're good for all 3. Of course, they are comfortable, clean as you like. 9 rounds on the board. EG looking commanding.
Can they crack double digits here? Want to be a much better buy up here in this round for Vendetta, of course, since that was a full-on eco in the previous one. Very comfortably won by the Evil Geniuses. They're going to send 3 members towards this A site. Junior's going for that mid peak. He has every single round. Consti wants to fight it this time. Junior's going to need to be careful. I believe the barrel almost spotted out. Perhaps he did fire a shot on through. The utility does a ton of damage in the meantime. 60 getting taken down to 23. Silas tossing a Molotov top banana. Resh has spotted out Tender here. He's going to get a freebie. He drops right onto his head, a Goomba stomp, and then finishes him off with the A1S.
Oh boy. It's like I can hear the Metal Gear Solid exclamation point heading up above his head. Oh boy. You know it's a bit of one-sided affair when Rush is the one going for style points. Usually the most business-like on this squad, and right now, full control of the bomb, full control of the site. Maybe Walco gets peppered down by spray, but even he manages to get away. A re-smoke up, just looking hopeless here for Vendetta. Double digits almost certainly on the docket here, unless Chop or Consti can do something truly spectacular. And there's still util to whittle them down. There's another smoke here. There's another Molotov. With the smoke coming out to just really make them feel bad about life. Come on, Junior, throw the smoke. Oh, no. Fight's going to come towards them. There's the flashbang. 1 kill on. A chance, but Hex says no.
Yeah, EG take the initiative. Hex shutting 2 down. More than making up for the missed shots earlier. I mean, look. He's 14-3. I can't criticize him at all. 10-3 in favor of the Evil Geniuses. 2 rounds remaining here in this half. And Vendetta, I mean, they're going to opt to save for the last round. So just a half buy here. It's pretty good, I guess. You got 2 Deagles, 3 Tech 9s. 60's got a full belt of util, and 4 players with body armor, but no head armor. So that's really going to cost them up against these M4s. And, well, the 2 AKs doesn't matter. Walco gets a nade frag onto Chop to open things up. And now is going to switch up to the AK and perhaps get another one for himself if Vendetta chooses to push up, but Vendetta doesn't want to. They're going to fall back a little bit. That allows Jeorge to position himself over at Sandbag. So they have full control here at Banana. They're going to realize it soon, you would imagine. But a good adjustment from Vendetta. They go to the lighter site. Only 2 players here. Perhaps EG realizing that they have too much presence on B site for no real reason. So Junior's going to rotate back around to A to support.
Molotov, smoke down. Good hold from Rush, but only for 1. His teammates to step up, and Hex will do exactly that. Dancing around this smoke. Shadow giving away Consti. Leaves just 60 to try pull off something a little heroic here. He's overwhelmed, and just surely off the numbers, if not the bullets. They will do him in. Smothering defense from EG. Not even bomb plants coming through for Vendetta. We're going to get 1 last round in this half, but I mean, 4 at best. This is a far cry from competitive.
Yeah. Not looking good for Vendetta. EG have pretty much been in full control. If you look, 14 rounds played, almost every single player on Vendetta has died in pretty much every single round, except for 1. 13 deaths for the players. Junior is just styling right now. He gets 1 onto Consti, another onto Silas. He's literally into mid. They're not challenging that much, and he finally goes down, but he shouldn't have been allowed to make that play. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely tender. Looking for the dream. Come back. Ace clutch. And he's already being pushed. Walco's taking up the space. This is a confidence we don't normally see from this EG. Contender's expecting the flank to come on through. Walco not spotting. Going on a little bit of an adventure. Just trying to clear out some space. Clear out some ground. If he goes across the bridge, he might spot this kill. Actually might spot Tender with his back turned. Hasn't gone back for the bomb. Walco realizes it. Walco finishes things off to send us through with a 12-3 lead for EG.
changes when we dance, belong together, catching sunsets, running waves, we stay forever, where the rhythm never ends, 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 where the rhythm never ends. Where the rhythm never ends. Where the rhythm never ends. Where the rhythm never ends.
We're back, folks. And just 4 rounds separate Evil Geniuses from a rematch with ATK, a date with perhaps Destiny, another shot at a ticket down under. And that's a nice tag to start things off. Consti dropped down to half health right off the rip. An engagement here top Banana, but Hex just wants to press forward. We're catching aid for his efforts, but look at the damage that's been done over towards this CT side. They're already softened up. Right for the taking. They're trying to go for a stack towards A. Trying to be one step ahead of EG, and to be fair, EG
Yeah,
looking
it's-
like that could be the next move.
They like to do this, so it's not a bad read for Vendetta. Perfect, in fact. Although Consti and Chop are pretty lit, so soft targets there for the EG Glocks. Still a smoke and a flash available here, along with a Molotov in Junior's hands. He's charging up. He's got the pistol out. He's got no interest in throwing the Molotov just yet. Now it goes out into pit. Consti hiding graveyard. Here it comes, the strike! And 4 players go down simultaneously on EG. They fall into the spider's web, and the fangs sink deep.
John, I think Vendetta might have known what was going to happen to this pistol.
Yeah.
I think they
get a feeling that
might
you're
have
right.
had a little bit of a read there. Might have had just a little bit of a read that if they showed some presence top banana, it would turn into a move towards A.
I wonder why they had that read.
Well, whatever it is, it will give them a chance to compete in this half in a big way. No bomb plant, of course, means that we get the full eco out from EG. They'll try and get the bomb down with just Glocks in this one and see what they can do in the next. George, you're up for it. No, you're up for the movement. I don't know if you're up for a wall bang with a Glock.
Maybe in CS2.
Maybe in CS2.
Although we still don't know if that's intentional or not.
Like trying to hammer a nail with a trout. But imagine it's not intentional. But let's see.
That is
desperation.
a really crazy image that you just painted in my mind, Mike.
You're welcome. They're just trying to coax someone in to give them any kind of fight that he might have a shot at winning it. They won't give it to him. They will not do it. It will not happen. 6E looking to clear this out and towards apps, but X is backed out. The problem is, I mean, what are you going to do? It's 35 seconds. Are we really just going to wait the time and then just run out and die with Glocks in the last moments?
Yeah.
Provided Vendetta don't overextend, there should really be no chance for EG in this round. And purely on time, but they're going to start to get in a little bit of an issue. They got to move. They got to die. The worst thing that could be here is dying or surviving after time. So they will come forward. They will die nobly. They just wanted to make sure they took their time dying.
Look, Mike, I'm a proponent of not taking any round, not just throwing away rounds, right? When you just have the Glocks out. But in that case, EG didn't really have util. Wasn't really much they could do. Eventually, you have to go for an execute, and they just kind of fall completely flat. Don't really do much at all into the round. Look, it's just Glocks. It doesn't matter one way or another.
It doesn't.
And they're going to have
I'm just ready. I'm ready for the gun round. They
Okay,
kept me
Mike.
from getting to the gun round, John.
Yeah,
I'm ready for the gun round.
getting a little cranky, huh?
Maybe they're just talking about the guns, what they were going to do in this round. I hope that's what they're doing.
Hey, look, it's a free timeout, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, this round doesn't matter. What are we going to do in the next one?
Here comes the contact. Smoke into section off arch. Now they're moving up. They're ahead of the Molotov. This would be a ripper. Rush gets it indeed. Big shots, big kills, and it was all worth it. You take as much time as you want in your pistol rounds. If this is going to be the execution when the guns come through, Consti might catch one on the smoke fade, but frankly, this should already be a save call if you're on Vendetta. And you can tell from the fact that Chop hasn't moved a muscle. He's not playing for this round. Ooh. And Consti's not playing for the next either.
Consti. Well, I mean, there's not much you could do in that position. Why is 6E peeking around this? I mean, I guess they'll have a buy
down
in the next round regardless, Mike, so it's okay.
Apparently, he just actually wanted the damage. Wanted the extra 600 maybe, but at this range with that MP9, it's going to be a bit labored. And now they're definitely not getting that either.
It's actually
So
not
13 on the board for EG.
Yeah, loss bonus.
It's not great. It's
No,
1400.
it's not. Exactly. I was just thinking. It'll still be enough to get a buy up here, but
Will
actually
it?
that MP9, well, I mean,
No.
if you want to go for a light buy, I'm not saying a full-on buy, but
Yeah.
6E should have saved.
No, I mean, definitely, they both should have. But this is one of the problems that we see with Vendetta, right?
Yeah.
They're very good at the explosive plays. They're very good at the wild and out plays. Sometimes the discipline's not quite there. And Inferno is a map that will punish you if you don't have the discipline to say, you know what, we're not going to do anything in this round. I, as the B anchor, I'm just going to save for the entirety of these 2 minutes.
If there's one thing that we can credit the evil geniuses, they have a ton of discipline. Perhaps
That they do.
sometimes a little too much, but
Part of why they love this map.
yes. And why they play
love
it so
to play
much.
the long game. Silas? Ooh, Silas finds the timing with just a USP to get a kill. He'll be traded, but still his impact has already been felt in this round. And Tender taking up his angle. Jeorge, gotta be careful not to get caught. Tender retaking that space. I don't think this is gonna be red. Tender's got the booty gun out, and he's gonna get himself another kill. Okay, it's getting spicy now. A Walko. Like this food a little more bland, and indeed it will be. The bomb's going down, and the moment where we thought something might be happening, it's quickly fading away.
Yeah. I don't think Chop is too concerned this time about keeping the MP9 up, but... Well, I say that. Consti is already way further back with just a P250. So I'm not sure what the call will be. Maybe they want to try and grab the AK off the ground here.
Makes sense. Upgrade for the next.
Yeah.
But you're
Okay.
running out of rounds to make this happen. So next round, it's got to be the full bet in, right? You got to get the rifles up. We got to have the AWP. We got to have everything you could possibly see on the Vendetta side. And Chop's actually going to try and do some damage here in towards the pit. This is cheeky. Time to strike. Him to the one. He gets the 2 players vaporized.
I really, that's the second time we've seen that in 2 days, that play, and I love it because of the bomb bomb explosion radius being increased. You just have to literally not even kill the players, just do damage to every single one, and then the bomb will take care of the rest. And you saw that there.
I think in this instance, it's still a bad decision, though.
They were going to
Because
buy
they
anyway.
have plenty of money on the T side. The T side economy is much more resilient. Yes, you're going to just have to win rounds in a row, but there's plenty of situations where you can get a wobble in that, win with 1 alive, and you'll still need extra money. So Chop, even if he was going to dump the MP9, his armor is valuable. It's $1,000. You don't have to spend. So yeah, you can get the neat play, you can get the cheeky play, you can get the damage, you can take 2 bodies out of play, but I think EG are happy with the exchange.
Yeah, I mean, well, 650, right? Because it doesn't need the head armor. But I do agree with you in that sense anyway, keeping a little extra in the bank in case you need it in the follow-up round. But, well, we already talked about it. Discipline, not Vendetta's strongest suit. 14-5, 9-round lead for EG. Walko. He'll be joining his teammates here towards alt mid. Jeorge and Rush, the tips of the spear. And they've already thrown that Molotov in towards window room. They have some presence at bottom banana as well. And Vendetta are really committing a ton of utility here. And Nate flies out. That one is chonky onto Hex, who's down to 43 HP. He throws one back trying to return the favor, and it just explodes in midair. Doesn't really connect on anyone. Tender. Can he get some headshots here? No, but he will get a frag. Rush dropped. Rush avenged.
Speaking of headshots, Jeorge's got them in spades. Consti under threat. As Silas to support, and they're dragging 6 around 2. Where did that nade go? A little bit far off from Consti, apparently. So he's able to maintain his position, but look at this control that EG's starting to take top banana. They're holding the angles here. They're waiting for aggression back in. Walko's maybe making some inquiries about Arch side as well. This could be the B split. Chop's gonna abandon and go back for a smoke. Timing could be rough here now. High alert, red alert. Those rotations gonna be difficult. Consti wants to try and bring this back, and he'll lose a lot of health, but he gets the kill.
They're going B.
They are. What are they waiting for? Just for the group up. Util gonna sail over. Now here's the exec. Consti might be back on the angle. Is there a cross smoke? X is holding one, and he's gonna dump it just in the nick of time to set Chop that AWP, but Chop finds the important kill. 20 seconds. They need to get that bomb down, and Chop's away.
Bomb has been planted.
Bomb, in fact, planted. Spam a little bit late to do much about that. Man advantage in the post, but a bomb to defend means that EG a pretty strong position. Special literally as Junior takes that first find. Consti wanted the duel. Junior was happy to give it to him. So, position known, perhaps. Junior, knowing what to expect. Reading the play. He just has to delay. They don't have kits, John. John, they don't have kits.
He just has to
Junior
take down the bomb
kill,
diffuser.
it's over.
There it is.
It's over. He's won. 15 on the board. Nothing that can be done about this for Vendetta. That's a decisive kill. That's a timely frag coming through, and now it's disastrous. And here's where we talk about the money being limited, because they've got so little. Look, it was going to be 10 rounds regardless. Having cash or not, it's going to be a tough fight, but at least you'd have guns. At least you'd have a little bit more. Wouldn't be enough for a full buy, but it might be extra nades. It might be an extra kit. It might be that little bit that can make a decisive difference.
Yeah, still, you're going to have 3 M4s, but yeah, 6E's limited, 5.7, and Silas MP9. But, you know, just position them at close angles, take the right engagements, and they won't limit you that much. It's still such a tall hill to climb. 10 rounds in a row, like you mentioned, required for Vendetta just to push this one to OT. It feels like they're running on empty now. Can't really find that third gear here against EG. Tender gets one. Jeorge trades it back immediately, and a Molotov sails from the hands of Silas towards the back of apartments. But in the meantime, he takes damage, goes down to 17. So EG have the edge here, even though the numbers are even. And both Consti and Silas will be in pit and mini pit. So no real presence Archside or Moto. I imagine that Vendetta wants to try and fix that and send someone back over. It will be Chop.
Moto Smoke sectioning this off. It's going to get very interesting, especially as Junior peeks around, takes up the angle, takes up the fight. Got to be careful from Library, but Jeorge is out. Through the lip there into the choke points. Jeorge, horse player collected. Conti can't do anything about this. He's blinded up. He's smoked off, trying to find these kills, trying to find this damage. He knows it's under pressure, and Jeorge just going to run this down with the Glock. Why not? What a way to potentially finish off this map. A 5.7. A retrieved rifle and a shot to the side from Junior means we've got a 16-5, an absolute beatdown on Inferno. Domination coming through from EG. Perhaps what they should have been doing this whole series long, but they make good when it matters most, and now they've got a chance. Now they're in that final. Now they just need to best ATK for a shot.